ordered something from a company called Nostalgic Grains, and it came in this box here, and I think there's more than just one item in that box. Let's check it out and see what we got. Kind of cool actually. There's a couple decals in here, old school looking. So yeah, that's really cool. He was saying he's going to throw a couple extra little fun things in here. We got a fortune cookie, some old school Toyota logos. I now have a cool keychain for the car. And here's what I ordered. Check that out, guys. That's a handcrafted shift knob with the old school Toyota logo. So I'm pretty excited. That'll match my steering wheel, the Nardi wheel, very nicely. So thank you very much, Nostalgic Grains, for this awesome package. Just had to do a little bit of a test look here because we don't have a shifter stick to attach this to yet. As soon as we get the engine ready to go in the car, this thing will be going in here. But sure does look good. Very happy with that. Quality is top notch, guys. I'm liking it. And it should match pretty nice with my steering wheel, much better than the factory one. So this is a rosewood item. So So I have the original glass out of the 72, actually the car it's leaning on. And I believe it's an original Toyota windshield. If I can find the etching on the front, I'll show you guys. And here's the back one. I'm going to clean these guys up, and the goal is to reuse them. I seem to remember this one had wiper scratch marks, but I gave it a quick towel off to get the dust off from sitting the last 6 years in a dirty shop. And I'm not seeing it. I thought I would have to order a glass polishing kit. If all I have to do is clean this up, that's cool. I have an original Toyota windshield. If I have to polish it, I'll try polishing it. And the reason I want to save the original windshield is twofold. It's an original OEM installed windshield, and they're $600 Canadian, which is a lot of money for a windshield, but here's a little before of the windshield. It is quite filthy. We got to get the black butyl off of there. I think they, like a lot of old cars, it had leaks. Came out of this place here when I bought it. And hiding in here somewhere is the original TEQ logo. So I just cleaned up the front windshield that I thought was really poor condition. It's not perfect. There are a couple wiper marks in there. You can see, I think that could actually be buffed out at some point, but I can use this windshield. And there's our original Toyota TEQ logo. And an original windshield that came off the race car is going to go onto this car. So the process was, I just used these blue shop towels. Well, not shop towels, they're like lint-free rags for pre-cleaning your paint job. And the first thing I did was I razor bladed off with fresh razor blades anywhere those decals were. There was other crud on there, like paint splatter from when that car was painted white. And then I took gun wash Went over both sides with gun wash. I had to razor blade the butyl tar stuff off the edges. Then I hit it with acetone. Right there. And after that, I used Mother's Magna polish. And I know it wasn't going to polish the scratches out, but it took the water spots off. And there had been oil that had dripped on there from a brake line that was hanging in the rafters. And then we finished it off again with acetone. So she came out pretty good. There are some mild scratches in there I think I'll polish out at some point. They're hard to pick up now in this light though, so that will be a very usable windshield. The back window is clean as it's going to get. There are some scratches from being close to 50 years old, but I think I can polish a lot of those out at some point. Some of these lines probably won't defrost as nice as they should be, but a lot of them are still kind of there. So this is what we're going to work with, and I think it'll be perfectly fine for this car. It looks pretty good now. So these are the moldings that I have. I got 2 sets for the front windshield, 1 set for the back. So I picked the best front trims. I've washed them with water. Some of them have this butyl on here. That's got to come off. I don't think I can just go straight polish anything. There'll be some sanding involved. They've got a lot of sanding scratches. Both cars have been repainted, and both body shops or individuals who did it were not careful with the trim. There's a couple small dents we got to work out, but not bad. A couple little things in there. This here, really, you don't need a hammer, as I learned on the other parts. They're so thin. The tapping motion is that light, and we're doing this on the back of my vise on the flat piece of steel. But we got those dents out of here, and it's ready to sand. You'll see a little bit of marks where the dents were. There'll be stone chips. Like, we'll take something like this out. So you can see right here where I've hammered out a spot. This trim is really thin. Actually, we watched that a little bit just previously. I've got this block here, and I'm going to start with 320 grit. I don't want to get more coarse than that. I mean, you could, but that means I got to take it back. And I'll work those areas up. The rest of it, actually, if you look over it, it's just really scuffed from age. I jumped 1 grit more aggressive from 320 to 220. And it seemed to do the trick just in places here, but you can see how most of that has now sanded out. We'll jump to 320, will be the next grit. So you can see here I've started sanding with 1500 grit, and then this is 400 grit. I just jumped right to 15, and the shine actually brings itself out. It's such a hard steel, it almost polishes itself. The polish really just brings it over the top. So after 15, we'll bring it up another grit yet. So I've got a couple of these now in 3000 grit sanding, and they're almost polished at this point. Like, they look so good. So I don't have a pedestal polisher, but I do have this drill, and I do have a polishing wheel, drum, whatever you want to call it. We're going to polish this. And I'm probably not doing it right in terms of using the rogues. I think you pronounce it rogue for polishing metal, but I have been using Mother's, and I just kind of get it on the wheel. And we'll turn her on here once it's plugged in. We'll wipe it clean, and it does come out pretty good, guys. Comes out really good. I'll show you in a sec here once we get the polish wiped off. Looks like that. Some finger smudges, but it works really well. Little before and after. All the trims for the front and back window are now polished, and they came out as good as I was hoping they would. I'm pretty happy with that. I picked up a couple items. Some masking roll. I want to also do some painting in the shop again, so some things will be masked. So it'll do two purposes, but it's medium weight, and we got lots of it here. So we'll use that to do the vapor barrier. Also picked up at the local hardware store this butyl tape, and I think that'll hold this on. I think that's how originally vapor barrier was held on to the car. So let's go take a look at the vehicle here. And it's even got a bit of a guide where it normally goes. We're going to stick that on there, and then we can put the door panel back on this spot. So the butyl tape is on there, and it's actually going to work really nice. I don't remember there being what was across the top, but I've run it there. I run it down here like factory, and we run one here, and I think the spring will hold this guy on to there. So that should all work very nice, guys. And I'm going to get that vapor barrier on there. Okay, it's on. Now we're going to do a little trim. So I'm going to grab a knife blade and we'll just trim off the excess. Got the vapor barrier all done. Probably have to buy one more roll of this. Used about 30-40% of it to do one door, which is fine. It's not that expensive. I've added just a little bit here, and we'll allow this to be open so it can move. And we'll call this door done. Yeah, so I was gonna take this to the local glass shop in town and have him do the install. Local owner of the shop and I went to school together, and he was totally willing to do it. But then I got to thinking after at Brian's house, he said, "Oh, I'll help you do it," when we had filmed the episode on his 29 Model A. So him and my dad are going to come down, and we're going to get this install done on Tuesday. So after work, so that'll be exciting. And I'm just happy to have glass going into the car. And so it's Saturday morning here, doing a little prep for when they come. But I got the weather strip from Thailand. The fit is really good, guys, from what I can tell. I sent Brian a picture and he said, that looks pretty cool. So sounds like we're good to roll. It wants to just pop off of here. That's why the tape's holding it, just for getting ready to install. And we got the back glass here. Same situation, it wants to pop off, but once it goes to install, I think we'll be fine. So there's a couple things here. I would have loved to film installing front and back glass for you guys, but even with 3 of us here, it was quite an involving task. So guys, if you don't have water and it's not like mud on your car, you can clean your car with glass cleaner and fresh microfiber rags. I just tried it. I haven't seen this guy clean for a while. Plus, it's nice to see the glass actually clean. And I want to say a big thank you to Brian and my dad. Brian came all the way out from the other town and helped me put the glass in this car. So that's worth a lot, because something I've never done. He's done a couple cars. We fought this windshield in the front hard. It took about 4 tries, so a long time. And I think what our big issue was, these pillars here, there's foam in this part, and originally it would have just been foam where the vinyl is, but I've added foam all the way through because I had nothing to template off of. It was all shot and gone, and that didn't allow this rubber lip to pop over here nicely, which in turn we couldn't get this to seat down. But it's in there now. We went to do the back, there's no foam underneath the headliner, and we got her almost right away. So thank you very much, guys, for coming down, Dad and to Brian. It is super good. It'll also allow me now to, once I've put sealant in here, chase down any leaks that it might have, I can fix mount those Pioneers over there. So that's that. She's clean again. Feels good. And Dad was saying he wants to come help me do a full detail on here, any dust nibs that we might have. So that'll be exciting. That'll really pop again. So there we go, guys. Glass is done. We got this stuff here. I'm using a DuPont product. The U-418, that's what they sold me at the glass shop. I got a couple tubes of those. It's got a pointy end on it. So what I did is I took that pointy end, front and back, after the tape was run around, and you just kind of wedge it in there, and you just, with your caulking gun, go all the way around, and you know you got it when it oozes out. And after that, I first took just one of these door wedges trimmed down. You can see the Celica on there, or the urethane. And I just ran it along the tape while it's still on this edge to get the majority of it, wiping off as you go because it builds up fast on there. Then to do the cleaning 2 or 3 times around the edge with the razor blade, just kind of taking it along and then wiping it off with painting pre-cleaner. Spraying on the rag, not on the window, so that you don't overlay soak and potentially wreck the integrity of the sealant. So they actually have a lot of space. Like, they can go back a ways without hitting the glass. So we can kind of mount them up close here to the headrests, and it'll be awesome. I had to put a couple holes in the rear dash pad. Kind of sucked, but this is what I need to put in the TSX 9s. So there's a bigger hole there for the speaker wires, and then just in front of it is where the mounting point for the speaker is going to be, right in there. Let's check out that legroom, guys. That's definitely for kids only. And there's the back seat. And there are the Pioneers with the retro sound speakers. They sound really good. I was sitting back there. Sounded awesome. You can see them in the back window here. So guys, here's something that really impressed me. Listen to how solid these close. So I like it. It's like new car, man. That's awesome. This is what I'm using here, the auto bedding and glazing compound, the 08509, and I got it from Steely. It's kind of messy with this bedding and glazing compound, but I've got it in there. I put it all in, then I tapped these guys in after, so I'm hoping the molding will still sit down nice into there, the one that goes around the glass. That'll cover up a lot of that rubber. So wish me luck, guys. We're gonna let this sit for 24 hours, and then we're gonna give it a test to see if it's watertight. Part of me is thinking maybe I'll put a bit of glazing bedding compound on each clip, because I think as it pushes over, it's supposed to remain flexible, but I don't know, guys. So we'll see how that goes. There it's going. Don't get your fingers in there. You hold it right there. That's good. All right, guys. We have that glue pin here, the glazing and bedding compound. Let's test for leaks. A little wet on the toes, eh, man?
Yeah.
All right. So we're gonna let it sit a little bit, and let's see if there's water in the car. Thanks, bud.
I just press.
So looking inside, I don't see any leaks, guys. That's good. Last time I was up in the corners for sure, and running down the B pillars. So that's a win there. Let's go look in that trunk. So I'm not seeing any leaks in here, guys. That's good. It was running down here like crazy last time, into there and into there. So I think we've got it. I got the trims on. I'm gonna have to order a couple new clips. A couple of them weren't holding anymore. I think I might have put them too flat, trying to get them on the car the first time because they didn't fit properly. The issue I ran into installing the glass, not everything goes smoothly, guys. These clips here, there's 2 middle ones, they won't seat because this sits a little too high on the weather strip. It is seated fully. It's an aftermarket weather strip, so it sits a little high. I taped off both sides. I squirted the glazing bedding compound, you can see it in there to help hold it in place, and also so the wind doesn't get under there and want to lift it off. So this stuff doesn't fully dry, so it should be able to take the molding off if the glass should ever break or need to come out for some reason or another. So my fingers crossed, when these went on, the clips didn't push forward and make a gap for the water to get in. If it did, well, we got to do some stuff here. The top, I actually went on each clip. There's like one here, 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 here kind of thing, and same on the other side. I put a little bit of this glazing and bedding compound on top of each one, rubbed it down with my finger, put it on, and then cleaned it off. So that's the best I know how to do. Hopefully we don't have to chase any leaks. I'll let it sit for probably 2 days and see if it's watertight. If it is, we have a win. So I will put it out there. I do not like working with anything that requires me to have water stay out of the car because it's a hassle. I even did my convertible top. That took me probably a week or two just to get right, and even here and there it'll develop new leaks kind of thing, and that's convertible top on the Miata that I have. So yeah, this is hopefully done, fingers crossed. That way I can get back to this trunk project that I'm in the middle of. So this is the Miata I'm talking about. I've done a lot of work on this thing to bring it back from the dead. When I got this top, I got it from a guy about an hour from home here. He said, bring me your frame. I got one the customer never took after I put a new top on it. And I got it for a smoking good deal. And I'm pretty sure he had no idea that the frame was slightly bent. But literally part of what I had to do was I put a broom here and here, broom handle. And then I got on top of the car and I just jumped on here until it flattened out because it was actually kind of bowed there. A couple other things I had to do, but yeah, chasing leaks is not my most favorite activity. So I think I would love to see a Celica conversion kit or something that allows you to have a little bit bigger piece of glass to just urethane it in place. That would make, I think, everybody's day a lot more happy.